So you're thinking of moving to Connecticut? That's great. Let me give you the good, the bad, the ugly. Let me not sugarcoat it for you. I'm Dave Jones, and I help people move here from all over the country. Heck, from all over the world. We have people coming from New Jersey, New York, California, Chicago, different countries like the Czech Republic and Ireland. There's one reason almost every single one of them ends up telling me, I can't believe we waited this long. And I'll get to that. But first, let's talk about con number one. And I'm starting with one that nobody wants to hear: taxes. It's one of the main reasons people leave Connecticut. Connecticut is not cheap. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Your property taxes can be real expensive. And here's the part that gets people: they're completely different from one town to the next. We've got this thing called a mill rate. The mill rate is basically how much tax you pay per $1,000 of home's assessed value. And that number swings all over the place. You can have neighboring towns that are twice as high as each other. Waterbury and Prospect, for example. You can drive 15 minutes down the road, buy the exact same house, and pay thousands of dollars more or thousands of dollars less every single year on the same house because it's in a different town, wildly different tax bills. So here's where most people mess this up, and I see it constantly. They find a house they love, they fall head over heels for the kitchen, the backyard, the whole house, and they never once looked at the mill rate. They sign, they move in, and then 6 months later, that tax bill shows up and they feel sick. I had a guy come from New Jersey, dead set on a specific house, beautiful place, and I had to sit down and show him that that town one exit further had nearly the same house for thousands of dollars less in taxes. He almost didn't believe me. The town you pick matters as much as the house you pick, sometimes more. So write that down. Real quick, do me a favor, drop a comment in the comments below of where you are moving from and why you're actually thinking about it. Are you chasing more space, a little different quality of life? What has prompted the relocation? I read every single one of these comments, and it helps me make these videos actually useful for you instead of a generic junk video. So let's get right back to it. Con number two: the winters in Connecticut are brutal. It's what prompted me building in Florida. I'm not going to tell you Connecticut is all sunshine all year because it's not. We get 4 real seasons, and winter is one of them. But that's also one of the things some people love about Connecticut. You'll see snow. You will shovel snow. There's going to be a stretch in February where the sky is gray for a solid month, and you stand at the window asking yourself, what have you done with your life? And if you're coming from Florida or Arizona or California, somewhere where you've never owned a snow shovel, I'm telling you, this is a real adjustment. You're probably going to end up buying a roof rake. That's a real thing. The first winter is the hardest. People always tell me it's the first test. But here's the flip side, and I'm going to circle all the way back to this in a minute. Those exact same reasons are also the single best things about living here. So hold that thought. Don't write off all the snow just yet. But let's talk about con number 3. If you need big city energy 24/7, this is not that. We don't have a New York City sitting inside Connecticut. We don't even have a pro sports team. We just don't. Our biggest cities are not anything like Manhattan. And if you're the kind of person who needs a rooftop bar, a 2 a.m. slice, or a brand new restaurant every single night within walking distance, Connecticut is probably going to feel a little too quiet for you. I would genuinely rather tell you that now than have you move up here and be like, where the heck are we, Dave? You have to sell this house 3 months from now. And this is the part that flips it. You're roughly an hour and a half, 2 tops, to New York City. And you're a couple hours from Boston. So you can grab that big city day any day you want it. dinner, a show, a game, the whole thing. Heck, I'm a season ticket holder to a New York team. You can make the trip regularly. For most of the people I work with, this is the entire point. They wanted out of the chaos, but didn't want to lose access to it. You've got to be honest. Which kind of person are you? Con number 4 is the traffic. And I'm going to say 2 words. I-95. If you spent any time in Connecticut along the shore, you already know it. I-95 can turn into a parking lot, especially when people are heading to New York. And if your plan is to commute into the city every single day, you have got to be brutally honest with yourself about that drive or the train ride before you lock into a town. Because here's the truth. The commute is the thing that people underestimate the most, and it's the thing that wears them down the fastest. Nobody quits a town because the house was too nice. They quit because the drive broke them. So let me ask you something. Have you actually planned out your commute? Have you mapped it? Did you look at what it would take to get where you need to go on a random Tuesday morning or Thursday at rush hour? I'm not talking about guessing it. I'm talking about really mapping it out, because that one thing changes which town you should even be looking at. There are towns sitting right on the Metro North where you can be on a train, laptop open, coffee in hand, and roll into Grand Central without ever touching a wheel. And then there are towns 20 minutes inland that turn that same trip into an hour in the car just to reach the station. Same county, totally different life on a Tuesday morning. And I run that math with my clients before we ever step foot in a house, because the right town can hand you back an hour of your day, twice a day. That's not a small thing. That's your whole life. It's important. Con number 5, and this one's softer, but it's real. Some of these towns are sleepy. Connecticut has these absolutely gorgeous small towns, stone walls, town greens, little coffee shops, a hardware store that's been on the same corner for 100 years. It's the real New England thing, and it's beautiful. But here's the catch. If you're 28 and single and want nightlife, some of these towns are going to feel like you moved into a retirement postcard. There is a town up here for every single type of person, but you have to get matched with the right one. That's what we do at Dave Jones Realty. We are matchmakers with you and the town. The town that's perfect for a family of 5 can be miserable for a young couple. And the spot that that young couple loves might be the town that the retiree hates. Picking Connecticut is the easy part. Picking your Connecticut town is the part that actually decides whether or not you like it here. Okay, that was the honest bad. I didn't dress any of it up, but let me flip the whole thing over, because that's exactly where Connecticut starts winning people over, and it wins them over fast. Pro number 1 is location. We talked about it. There's almost nowhere else in the country with this kind of location. Just think about where you're sitting. You're tucked in between 2 of the biggest cities in the USA. Boston to our north and New York City to our south. You've got the Long Island Sound with real shoreline towns to the south. You've got actual mountains with rolling hills and farms in the northwest corner. You've got world-class everything within a short drive, and you don't have to live on top of each other. You want a beach day? You're there in 45 minutes. You want to go hiking? 20 minutes. You want a Broadway show? You want to go see the Mets for whatever reason? You're only an hour and a half away. A real night out in the city, hop on the train. You're back in your own quiet driveway by midnight. You want to take the kids apple picking, leaf peeping. That's a Connecticut thing. To a real working farm on a Saturday morning. That's a normal weekend in Connecticut. You're not locked into a single kind of life here. You get all of them. And you get to pick which ones you're in the mood for. That's rare. It's really rare. Most places make you choose the city, the quiet, the beach, the mountains. Connecticut hands you the whole menu and tells you, take your time. Pro number 2 is the seasons. And this is the one I told you I was coming back around to. Remember I said the winters were a con? Here's the trade you're actually making. Connecticut in the fall is unreal. The leaves turn, the whole state lights up orange, gold, red. You'll be driving down some random country road and you'll have to pull over and take a picture. Summers on the shoreline or on Banham Lake or on Candlewood Lake are incredible. The beaches, the boats, the whole thing. Spring shows up and the entire place comes roaring back to life. And winter gives you that cozy New England Christmas card that people fly in from all over the world and pay good money to visit for a weekend. The first snowfall, go up to Main Street, Litchfield, and walk the shops. You will feel like you are in a Hallmark movie. 4 real seasons is a feature. It's not a bug, as long as you walk with your eyes wide open. Pro number 3 is the schools. I'm not going to make promises, and I never rank any schools because this stuff changes year to year, and every person is different. But I'm going to give it to you straight. Connecticut has a serious reputation for education, and a huge chunk of families that move here are moving for that reason. We also have some of the best prep schools in the country. They're coming from somewhere they felt like they were constantly fighting the system, and they want a town where the schools are genuinely a selling point instead of a problem. We've got towns like that. Honestly, that alone is why so many families are relocating up here. Hey, here's a spot where I owe you some honesty about what I actually do for a living. If you're sitting there and you're seriously thinking about a move, not someday, but actually considering it, this is what Dave Jones Realty does every single day. We help buyers figure out which part of Connecticut is a good fit for their lifestyle. What's a good fit for their budget? What's a good fit for their commute? All of it before you ever waste a single plane ticket coming out here and wander around blindly. So give us a call, shoot us a text, send me an email, or just book a free Zoom relocation call with us. Sit down, screen to screen, map the entire process out together. And I promise you this, we'll tell you the truth, even when the truth is, hey, that's not the right town for you. That's the whole job. That's the only way we do it. Let's keep rolling because there's still some important things to get to. Pro number 4, the community feel. This one sneaks up on a lot of people. There's something about a Connecticut small town that you just can't fake. People know the guy behind the deli counter by name, and he knows you. He knows your kids. He knows they ride their bikes down to the town green. He sees you at the fall festival, the tree lighting in December, the Little League games. The whole town shows up. It feels like the World Series. The barber knows you. The barber knows your family. The lady at the farm stand saves the good corn for you. And for a lot of buyers coming from somewhere busier, somewhere more anonymous, where you could live next to somebody for 5 years and never know their name, this is the thing that hits completely out of nowhere. They didn't even realize they were missing it until they had it. They move here for the house. They stay here for the community. I watch it happen more times than I can count. Pro number 5, and this one leads me into a big point, and that is space. Here's what happens when you come from New York or New Jersey. Your whole idea of what a house even is, it's been shrunk down on you. You've been trained to believe your yard is a luxury, that a 2-car garage is a fantasy, that having a basement or an office or a guest room in the same house is something only the rich have. You've made peace with small because small is all you've been shown. And then you come to Connecticut and you look at what is actually sitting there in that price range and your jaw hits the floor. And that right there leads me to what I promised you at the beginning of the video. So you want to know the number one reason people move to Connecticut and tell me they would never go back? The one thing that makes every single con on that list completely worth it? That number one pro of living in Connecticut, it is the value. It's how much more life your money actually buys here. And I'm telling you, I watched this exact moment happen on practically every tour I do. A family comes from the city with a budget of 4, 5, 600,000. A budget that back home buys you that cramped little box, if it buys you anything at all. Up here, that same exact money buys you a real house, a yard you can run around in, a driveway, a 2-car garage, a room that can actually be an office, space to breathe. And they walk out into that backyard, they go quiet, then they turn and look at me and say, wait, this is really in our budget? Yes, it really is. That's the moment every time. That's the number one pro. And it's not any single feature. It's the feeling of finally understanding, finally having room to spare. That's what people can't believe they waited so long for. And that's the thing that makes every single con on that list shrink down to nothing. So look, if that sounds exactly like what you are chasing, the next thing I need you to do is figure out exactly which town makes sense. And good news, I already made the video that breaks down precisely that. The top 10 Connecticut towns everybody's moving to right now. I'll put it right here. Go click it and I'll meet you over there.